Let's start talking about the hypothetical map that Cesare was using. As you can see, in his opinion, the island has a triangular shape. He explains for each angle where it looks.
Insula natura triquetra, cuius unum latus est contra Galliam. Uius lateris alter angulus, qui est ad cantum ad orientem solem. Inferior ad meridiem spectat. Alterum vergit ad Hispaniam. Qua ex parte est Hibernia di medio minor, ut estimatur quam Britannia.
The island is triangular in its form. One angle of this side, which is in Kent, looks to the east. The lower looks to the south. Another side lies towards Spain. The west, on which part is Ireland, less, as is reckoned, than Britain. With this last sentence, he is saying that Ireland is supposed to be half the length of Britain. At the time, Ireland was called Hibernia. He estimated that the island was about 2,000 miles in circumference.
In hoc medio cursu est insula, qui appellatur Mona, cum plures praeterea minores subiecte insule existimantur, de quibus insulis non nulli scripserunt dies continuos triginta sub bruma messe noctem. Loca sunt temperatiora quam in Gallia, remissioribus frigoribus. Ex isse omnibus longe sunt humanissimi qui cantium incolunt, que regio est maritima omnis, neque multum a Gallica differunt consuetudine.
Britain is surrounded by a large number of small islands. The biggest among these is Mona, now the Isle of Man, located in the middle of the Irish Sea. The climate is mild, more temperate than on the continent. During the summertime, the night is considerably shorter than in southern Europe. The land is covered by thick forests and dense vegetation. Over there, everybody can find any kind of trees, apart from firs and beeches. Caesar describes the island as divided in two parts, which are an inner portion, inhabited by the native populations, and a maritime part, inhabited by Belgi, people who moved there to make war, who then continued their life there and began to cultivate lands. The people that live in the different portions have different traditions. The most civilized nation of all in Britannia is Kent, a maritime district still present today. The Romans thought that Kent was a strategic position for a port, so there are ruins of Rutopia or Portus Rutupis, a port founded by the Romans after their invasion of Britain in 43 AD.
Hominem est infinita multitudo. Creberrimaque edificia fere Gallicis consimilia, pecorum numero singens. Nascitur ibi plumbum album in Mediterraneis regionibus, in maritimis ferrum, sed eius exigua est copia. Ere utuntur importato.
Britons live in huts that are very similar to the Gaulish ones. Those buildings are common all over the country, and they are made with local materials such as wood, mud, and stones. The houses have no windows, and in the center of them there is a fire used to warm the house and for cooking. The Britons, differently from their continental cousins, are not used to farming. In fact, they only exploit meat and milk from their farm animals. However, they don't eat poultry and hares, but they breed them for amusement as pets. They extract tin in the inner part of the island and iron in small quantities on the coast. They import brass to craft rings whose size represents their social rank. The majority of Britons live sharing everything with the community and they can't take part in politics.
Omnes vero, se Britanni vitro inficiunt, quod ceruleum efficit colorem, atque, occorridiores sunt, impugna spectu.
They also dye their bodies with wood, a natural dye. Isatis tinctoria, commonly named wood, is a flowering plant used to obtain a blue dye. Britons extract the blue essence to dye yarns and fabrics and to prepare bluish body paints. The wearers terrorized the enemies during those cruel and gory battles.
Uctores, habent deni duodenique inter se, communes et maxime fratres, cum fratribus parentesque, cum liberis, sed qui sunt exis nati, eorum habentur liberi, quo primum virgo, queque deducta est.
They have many wives since they live in small groups of 10 to 12 people. The wives are exchanged between relatives, and when a baby is born, it is considered child of the first man who slept with the mother.
Capilloque sunt promisso, atque omni parte corporis rasa, praeter caput labrum superius. Utuntur aut ere, aut nummo aureo, aut taleis ferreis ad certum pondus examinatis pronummo.
Britons shave their whole body, but they keep their mustache hair long. To cover themselves, they wear skin and furs and colorful dresses made of wool. Rings, necklaces, and other pieces of jewelry are essential to recognize every person's social class. The bigger is the ring, the richest is its owner. The economy is divided into two main areas, the lowlands and the highlands. In the lowlands, communication is easier and there are many fertile lands. In the highlands, communication is more difficult and pastoralism is very common. Brass and iron rings are used as money.
Druides rebus divinis intersunt, sacrificia publica ac privata procurant, religiones interpretantur.
They believe in immortal gods, and they also respect nature and the motion of the stars. People also believe that their soul can pass from one body to another after death, so they're brave and don't fear death. Druids are relieved from military service and tributes. Some young men become druids of their own accord, others because their parents want them to embrace this vocation. They spend many years learning by heart verses and doctrines that they preserve to those young men who want to learn and improve their memory. As a matter of fact, they rarely write down what they know because they don't want it to be spread among the rest of the people. When they need to write official acts, they use the Greek characters. One druid is chosen to preside and be the maximum authority among the others. When the chosen one dies, the druid that succeeds him is one who is considered as capable or who has been elected by the suffrage of the druids. The art of being a druid seems to have originated in Britain and to have developed in Gaul. Cesare advises anyone who wants to learn this art to go to Britain to learn it.
Ad os, magnus adolescentium numerus disciplinae causa concurrit, magnoque isunt apud eos honore. Nam, fere de omnibus controversis publicis privatisque constituunt, et si quod est facinus admissum, si cedes facta, side hereditate, de finibus controversia est, idem decernunt, premia penasque constituunt. Si qui aut privatus, aut populus eorum decreto non stetit, sacrificis interdicunt. Ec pena, apud eos, est gravissima.
The Druids represent the supreme authority in Britain's society. Their first role is a religious one. They conduct both public and private sacrifices, and they interpret all matters of religion. They are the connection between the supernatural and the human world. They are also public and private judges. In fact, they decree punishment in case of murder, disputes and controversies about boundaries. If the guilty party doesn't respect the punishment established, the Druids interdict them from the ceremonies and the sacrifices. Indeed, this stands as the worst possible punishment.
Britannia pars interior ab issi incolitur quos natus in insula ipsi memoria proditum dicunt. Maritima pars ab is qui prede ac belli inferendi causa ex Belgio transierant, qui omnes fereis nominibus civitatum appellantur, cuibus sorti ex civitatibus eo pervenerunt. In omni Gallia, eorum hominum, qui aliquo sunt numero atque honore, genera sunt duo. Nam, plebes pene servorum abetur loco, qui nihil audet per se, nulli adibetur consilio.
The ruling class consists of two privileged orders, the Druids and the Knights. The Knights, when there's the threat of a war, are all engaged in it. The richer and more noble ones have the greatest number of vassals and dependents. There's also another class, the plebeians.
They are considered like slaves and can't make decisions. It happens that plebeians put themselves under the protection of richer people as slaves because they are considered in the same way. In Britannia, there are many different tribes, each with their own king. These tribes are often at war with each other. The population is estimated between 1 and 4 million.